Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Austin here, and I'm recording this video on Saturday, June 25th, to basically recap the last few trading days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I was green on Wednesday and Thursday, and then on Friday I was red here in my main account. Um, and so I'll show you guys kind of, the picture of the month basically, and it's bleak, man. It's not looking much better than it was last week, but it is better than it was last week. I'm green on the week here in my main account, so it's a step in the right direction. Um, Overall, it's like I said in my last video, it's just gonna take me a while to pull myself out of this rut, but hopefully I think I can do it. Unfortunately, Friday was a very sketchy day. If I open up the running P&L, you can see it got very, very sketchy. I had to kind of pull myself out. I've gotten pretty good at pulling myself out of the hole, usually in kind of power hour, especially on a Friday. Usually there's a big move, and so if I can get smart and capture that, then I can make some money on that move. And I did last Friday. It's really just this initial period where I kind of dig myself a hole. And so I'm going to talk in this video a little bit about what I'm doing to basically prevent that from happening. And if you're watching this video and you haven't watched any of my other videos, or you're kind of a little bit behind on this last week here, and then you can see some massive losses in this month. So if you're not up to date with all that, go watch my other videos, join my Discord. You can read all my kind of updates and get in the loop on how exactly this happened. I'm still green on the year, just for some context, still green on the year. And I've been trading really, really well up until kind of this month, basically, where I started trading futures and really dug myself a hole. And I want to share something with you guys that I thought of that came to mind that I actually wrote down in my little notebook here, which I've kind of started writing stuff down in my notebook every morning, kind of my pre-market plan. But I wrote this down. It's Saturday today, and I just thought of this, and it was kind of like I thought that this is a good kind of analogy. I don't know what you call it, but I wrote down, be a sniper, not a machine gun. Because I feel like last week I was a machine gun. I was firing away like bam, 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 firing away trades. It was a totally choppy week last week, was just all chop. So I got chopped around like nobody's business. I felt like I was, you know, it's the classic meme where like you see, the market ripping up and then you get long and then you get stopped out as it comes down here, and then you flip short and then it rips you off. I was just getting the wrong I was just terrible, just terrible, terrible getting chopped around. Luckily this week we had some pretty good action, and on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday we really got some nice moves, and then on Friday, the best move came on Friday. Thursday was the choppiest day. We had some chop here. But anyway, I want to recap the trades. So I'll give you guys one more look at the trader view here. So I'll recap Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Wednesday I was green, Thursday I was green, Friday I was green, and then in the latter half of this video I want to talk about my Topstep combine that I started a few days ago, which is going really, really well. So that's encouraging, and I'll talk a little bit about what that means for me and why I think it's going well, and I'll show you guys the dashboard. So I'll try to put some chapters in this video so you can navigate it a little bit easier. And Anyway, we'll go from there. So all right, to start with my main account recap, I did trade in basically two accounts at once this week. I traded in my main account and I traded in my new Topstep simulated account. Which, if you're not familiar with Topstep, you can kind of look it up, and I'll put a link in the description of this video. You can check it out. But basically, it's a combine, so it's a prop trading firm. So they'll basically, if you can pass their combine, they'll fund you. So you aren't putting your own capital at risk, and then there's basically a profit split, which is I think 80-20 at the end. But you got to pass their combine, which is a two-step thing. So I'm on step one. You got to be anyway. I'll get into it later. But let's talk about the recap here. Um, so here is a Wednesday. I was very patient on Wednesday. for the first looks like let's see, the open here is at 6:30, so we ripped up. This really, I regret a lot of this recap is going to be me, my regrets and how I didn't buy. But coming into this week, the week before, it was really there was some choppy action. So um, last week, kind of with that knowledge of just how choppy it was, I was very hesitant to pull the trigger here into this week. Some of these times I did not pull the trigger where I should have, but I had a nice little 13-point winner here. And then here's basically a break-even trade. Um, I think maybe did I get long here or short here? I'm not really sure. Oh, if I go to a 1 minute, it's going to screw everything up. So let's just stay on the 5 minute. So I'm just going to fly through this. So this was a nice little winner here, buying a pullback, and then I sold way too early. I think what I was looking at here was this downtrend resistance line. If I go to the 15-minute here, you've got this kind of resistance, and this goes further back. But I thought that this might act as resistance, but really we broke out, so I missed out on several points there, 64 up to 97. So definitely missed out on some stuff there. Let me maximize this to make it easier. Um, so yeah, that was kind of it on Wednesday. I'm thinking, let me pull up this again and see like what else I traded. I don't think I traded that much. So yeah, it really was just those trades on the ES there, and then I looks like I had a small trade on the NQ. I don't even really need to look at that. So then moving over to Thursday. Thursday was choppy action. I'm really proud of this trade right here. Let's see if I can go to a 1 minute and if I can. Let's see. I really do want to get to that 1 minute. So let's go to like 5 days. So here's a 1 minute on 5 days. So here we go. So here on Thursday, really proud of this trade. Super choppy on the open. So here's 6:30. We opened up right here and it was a lot of chop. I wrote in my notebook that I thought that the open here was going to be choppy, so I did not trade any of this. Very thankful for that because this is just black. Then we break out of this kind of initial morning range. You've got this blue line and then the point of control here. We're kind of bouncing between these two spots, between this support here. So all in this range, and then we break out of the range, but I'm buying this. And the reason for that is if I go to, well, I don't want to get out of this view, but um, I shoot, this is really tricky. I gotta find this. So this is all this chop. I'm buying this basically into VWAP support, and then if we zoom out, you can see the kind of pattern that we're building here. There's this support level at 37.65. So I'm buying into that support, and then we get the rip up, and I get a nice 12-point winner there. Although my exit there, once again, was just uh, not ideal. If I flip back over to a 1 minute, you can see, I apologize for this, the tediousness of this, but anyway, you can see my exit was here at 85, so I got out like right here, and then it instantly ripped another 7 points up. So again, just not the best exit there, but that was a nice trade there, 12 points. Here, I think, yeah, I went long right here. I was up on this trade, like 8 points. Looking for more, looking for the break through this congestion, looking for, above 3,800, but this whole day would turn out to be kind of a choppy day. We fail back in, and then I stop out for break even, which was a nice disciplined thing to do. Little double bottom here, trying to get long. I realize I'm over trading already. Looking back at this, I know at the time I was looking at the 1 minute chart. I think on the 1 minute, this is a decent setup, but really, I want to be a sniper, not a machine gun. I don't want to be firing off these trades. I don't need to take every little tiny little setup that presents itself. So this is really not a trade I should have taken. But getting long, I'm in the money at like 3 points here, and then we fail back in, stopping out break even again. Here, I was a little over eager. We break through VWAP. We're starting to come down. I'm thinking, okay, we failed the top end of the range. And so I got a little aggressive here on the short. But again, if we zoom out to a 15-minute, I really was kind of looking for this to play out. That move back into kind of 37.50 support, 37.65. So we kind of failed. This got basically a double top here, basically a head and shoulders sort of double top pattern. Uh, so looking for the fail back in, I did have a bit of an aggressive entry, um, but I'll flip back over to the 5 days. Let's stay on the 1 minute. I just flip over to those longer time frames because a lot of times that is what I'm looking at. But so yeah, a bit aggressive here, and then I stop out basically here at the high, but then I enter right back in again as I just start to it just the action is feeling very rolly to me, and then we do roll, and I get a nice trade here, 77 down to 58, so almost 20 points right there, and I had a really nice exit down here at the bottom. And then I was tempted to get back short here, but I did not pull the trigger on that. We came down, tested basically 45 here, and then we bounced from there, and got a nice move up through 3,800 toward the end of that trading day. So I'll flip back over to a 5 minute. Let's talk about Friday. So I got long in the overnight, in the after hours session because we broke out above 3,800 finally. So I'll take the trades off just to show you kind of the significance of that level. Once we break above 3,800, that was key resistance. So once we broke that, I decided to get long, but I did get chopped out, and I hate that. But and I had an opportunity to re-enter on Friday, but ultimately that did not I did not do that. So Friday, I just really missed the move. But I got long here in the overnight. I was up and then I was down briefly and then back up and I was up like 800 bucks. But then I stopped out. I was literally going to bed because it was like midnight. I was like, well, I can hold this position overnight. This is basically a day trade still because I was very closely monitoring it, but then I was like, well, I really have to go to bed so that I can like wake up tomorrow. So it was kind of an overnight thing, but I'm counting it as a day trade. So you can see it still was like a point. I got a point basically out of it, even though I was up, like 15 points right here. But I just didn't want it to flip red on me, and but in hindsight, it probably was worth the risk. Again, we're breaking out above that key support, and then right here, this was this was bad. So this is really nice consolidation. I wrote in my notebook here on Friday, I wrote down for this move. So every morning I write down sit or stab. So that's kind of something I've been doing is like write sit or stab. And basically what that means is off the open, do I want to sit on my hands and be patient or do I want to stab? Because a lot of times what you'll see is right on the open, you've got this technical pattern forming. And once that volume comes in, you're going to see the resolution of that pattern. This is exactly what I'm talking about here. This is a stab like I've ever seen it, and it's hindsight 2020 for sure, but this is really nice tight consolidation and then of course huge continuation building this base above 3,800. It really doesn't get cleaner than this. This is just a beautiful thing. So to not be long for this break is embarrassing. In fact, this is a short trade here that I lost on. So yeah, it's not it's I'm a bit embarrassed by the fact that I'm not long for this, but it's hard in the moment. But on this day on Friday, I wrote stab question mark because I just it was worth the risk. I should have taken it, but for whatever reason, I just didn't. I felt weird buying it up here 38.30 at the time. It felt a little extended, but this is just really nice consolidation. So I'm embarrassed that I didn't stab at it. I wrote stab and I didn't do it. I wrote down overnight breakout above 3,800, and now we're basing below 3,830. Break above there, we go direct to 3,855 and then 3,900 back of mind, which we did hit that. I can't believe we did, but we hit 3,920 by the end of the day. Unbelievable. And then I said below 3,800, I'm looking for short move back down to 3,765. There might be a quick break above 3,835 on the open, but I'd rather be patient than buy up here in case of chop. So you can imagine a scenario where we get more choppiness before we break out. You can also imagine a scenario where we break and then it's a failed break. But the reason that's unlikely is because of how long we've been basing for. This is really a lot of buildup, a lot of coiling for a move like this. So it's no surprise that we got a lot of follow through on Friday. And of course, it would happen on a Friday. It often you get these big moves toward the end of the week. I can't really explain it, but anyway, so yeah, you can see my trades here. Not great. I wish I'd been long for this, of course. And then if we go to that 1 minute, you'll see right here, basically we got the breakout and then we started to pull back pretty aggressively. And I was looking at the NASDAQ as well. I have both the charts up at the same time. And what I noticed was that the NASDAQ was way outpacing the ES. The ES looked weak. I should have been buying the ES here. I mean, this was stupid. This should be a buy, not a sell. I just plainly got it wrong, but it's a good thing I freaking stopped out. I stopped out here at 44. I would have been, if I'd waited one more minute, given it one more minute, I'd have been down another 6 points straight away, and then this never came back. So you got to stop out. So it's a good thing I did. I took a 7 point loser there, um, and uh, and that's that. But I should have been getting long here, and but even if I did get long, there's no way I would have been patient enough to get this all the way up through here. So here we got some economic news that came out that propelled us. I mean, this is just massive. 38.55 to 70 in 1 minute. 2 minutes later, we're up to above 80. I mean, you just salivate over those moves, and I didn't have any trades in there. But I'll flip over to, because I think that's it. Yeah, so I had a brief short on this 84. I was up 7 points on this, man, and then I stopped out for break even. Man, that is unfortunate. So it's those small winners, those base hits I should be taking. But I think I thought that we kind of double topped here and I was looking for more, but again, it's a good thing I stopped out break even. I don't think I had any more trades on this, but you can see the run we got into the close. As we got into the close, I started feeling better. Actually, before we talk about that, I want to go over to this tab and I'll show you my trades on Nvidia, which just this is stupid. This is digging a hole. This was where this is kind of where I hurt myself on Friday. So I got short here. I was short the ES. Let's see, that's 655. So I'm scared to look. 655. I'm gonna flip back over to the ES because I feel like I was short. So this is 38. So 55. Yeah, it's just bad. I don't know why I got short. So I got short here, and then I stopped out for a pretty nasty $500 loss there. And then right here, I'm short again. 166 or 169.35. So again, it's a good thing I stopped out because this thing just kept ripping. So I avoided. I did a good job stopping out despite taking pretty heavy losses on Friday. Short here, I'm in the money briefly, but then, basically buying back. Then I flip long on this candle, and then it goes against me. Then I'm in the money, uh, and then, in the money, in the money, in the money on this long. Very trying to be very patient with this, but then stopping out for a little loss there. It's a good thing I did. It's a good thing I did because it came down. Then I'm short here as we're coming into the VWAP. This is just bad. Stopping out break even. Then I get long, and then it's just not really much happening here. I'm up 500, but I'm actually up $1 right here at this high, up 500. I should have taken that off the table, but I was looking for more. This looked like consolidation. I was looking for a kind of acceleration. Then we don't get that. I add, and then as for the kind of double bottom here, looking for us to move off this spot. But as we kind of flush back down here, I just didn't like it. Got out for a small loss there. So, and then shortly after that, we ripped back up to 169.50, and then by the end of the day, we had that explosion that brought us up to 171.40. Ugh, anyway, so it's hard to predict this stuff, and I'm not proud of my trading on. I'm really not proud of my trading on Nvidia. If without this, I would have been green on the day. So let me show you guys where I kind of came back. So I you can see, or I already showed you my trades on the ES there. Then NQ I traded more than ES on Friday. A lot of this was revengey. A lot of this was not good. If I had less machine gun and more sniper, I'd be I'd be green. So that's kind of my mentality into next week. Less machine gun, more sniper. I want to pick my spots and snipe. If it's not perfect, I don't want it. I'm looking for spots where I can take about 500, $500 a drawdown, about 10 points on the ES. If I take the hit, I take the hit, but I should be stabbing. I should be stabbing. I mean, just take a freaking look, man. If I'm getting long on the open, and I wrote down stab. I wrote in my notebook stab. I've got it right here written down stab, and I put a check mark. I always put a check mark afterwards next to my sit or stab or an X. If I'm right about stab, which here on Friday I was right. This is a stab. I should have stabbed. So I wrote a check mark because I'm right. Or if I write sit and I should have, and I like on Thursday I wrote down sit. Where's Thursday? Uh, I'm on a 1 minute, so it's not gonna show me. But if I go to the 5 minute and we go to Thursday, on Thursday, what did I write down in my notebook? That was what was that? The 23rd? Yeah. I wrote sit. I wrote sit. And I was right. Look at this choppiness. This is a sit. You shouldn't be stabbing here. This is choppy. So you're gonna lose. But this is a stab, and I should have stabbed on Friday. And if I had, it totally would have been worth it. So this is a spot where in the future, I've just got to say, and these spots are rare. I'm not gonna like on Monday be like stab, stab, stab. But this is a spot where it's just any trade you take, there's going to be risk. There's no riskless trade. So why not put some risk on the table for a setup as good as this? This is golden. This is a spot to stab. And if you take a loss, you take a loss, but do it. Take the shot because it doesn't get better than this. The setups do not get better. So anyway, I'm talking myself through this and reflecting on this. So I should have stabbed, but I didn't. And then I basically FOMO'd into this short and yeah, but all right, let's talk about the NASDAQ trades. I got a little derailed there, and we'll go to a 1 minute. So what did I do here? Here I took a short. I just thought we were a bit extended. This, I would have had a nice opportunity on a pullback here, but as this candle ripped back up, I got out for a 6 point hit and then immediately we reversed. So this is just tricky, just tricky. So that kind of, again, this is where I like this is machine gun action. Like this is a 1 minute setup. So I'm clearly looking at a 1 minute chart trying to trade this, and that's the problem. I needed to set I didn't have a stop set. If I had to put a 10 point stop, I would have been fine. Let's see, 72. Oh, I guess I wouldn't have been fine. So if I'd have done a 15 point stop, I would have been fine. But that's $300 a drawdown. But then I would have been up, I would have been up like 30 points on it, which is pretty good. But then if I didn't take my profit, wham, I would have been in for a big surprise. I probably would have been deer in the headlights on this move, and that would have been real bad. Oh boy, from 50 up to I mean that's 100 points. So anyway, what did I do here? So wow, really? I shorted this? Oh man, so I shorted here at 36. I don't remember this, but that is unbelievable. Okay, so I shorted at 36. Let's see. I was into 23. I was up, and then I stopped out for, wow, a 20 point hit. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. So that is reckless. That was stupid. It's kind of encouraging to see how stupid that is and know how easy it is to not take that trade and not have a 20 point loser right there. Wow, okay, I can easily in the future not do that and be way better off. Oh my God. I don't even remember that trade, to be honest with you. Here's a couple weird trades in here. This looks like revenge trade action. Just this is choppiness, not tradable. Not something I should be trading here. Of course, we are looking at a 1 minute chart. I want to not be looking at a 1 minute chart when I'm taking these trades, but I can tell I was looking at a 1 minute here, getting chopped around. Let's see. 93, 93. This is basically this is break even. This is a small loser. So just not worth it. And then running up the commissions as well. So here's where I started to regain a little bit of like, sniping mentality and started to basically get my shit together. Short one here at 12,000, 12,000. I don't regret that because this red candle on a 15-minute, this typically to me looks like a continuation candle of the trend. And so once we started to break down here and this candle kind of failed, if this was going to put in a green candle, then I liked it long. But this is where I can tell we're kind of consolidating for a move. I shorted one, but quickly as we gained support, so 12,000, I got a bad entry there. So I did take a decent loss on that if I'm not mistaken. So 12,000, but again, I had the discipline to stop out. This is something I was not doing last week. Thank God I'm actually stopping out on these because my God, on Friday it looks like I had so many bad entries that it could have just been so bad if I didn't stop out. So it's a good thing I did. But I took a 20 point loser there. 20 point loser. So this looked like kind of grind lower. Here's a failure. Here we're coming down. This looked like we're gonna gearing up to break this. And once we break, I thought we were in store for a nice 20 point flush straight away, but uh, we just ripped off this support. And once I saw this, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm flipping my bias and I'm getting long because again, looking at the 5 minute, looking at the 15, starting to gain some momentum here. And this looks like this is just consolidation, choppy action, but consolidation means we're gearing up for a move. Plus, I've got, back of mind thoughts of like, okay, we're coming we're 2 hours into the close. Like typically on Friday, you get some activity. And especially on a day like this where it is a clear trend day. This is a clear trend day. We've got a lot of movement. And once I got long, I was like, you know what? I actually really do like the long here because I think we're gonna get a nice kind of blow off or a nice, continuation move, probably back up toward the highs by the end of the day. And that's exactly what we got. And I'm always honest with you guys. I really was thinking that. Um, I really was thinking that we might reach back up to the highs by the end of the day. Did I expect that we would hit, 12,150? Absolutely not. This I did not see coming, and I'll show you guys in a second. But here I flip back long, 12,016 long. I don't like saying 12,016. I'm just gonna say 16. I don't know. It's weird. I'm not really even sure what you say there. But I'm long here on a small dip, and then really I'm just up on this trade the whole time. And then I soaked basically almost a 60 point, over like a 65 point. Is my math right there? Let's see, 16 plus 60. So over a 65 point winner from here to here. And I was conscious right here. I mean, here we have all this consolidation. This is all consolidation here. And on the 15-minute consolidation right here, pull back, and then this is a nice buy up. Really like to see this wick. Nice green candle on this 15-minute. Then we had a huge pullback here. I did kind of was like, come on. But it bought up just like I expected it to. And this was really nice candle. And then as we break out of this consolidation on that 15-minute, I'm holding into the 1250. So at 1250 or at 350 Eastern time, at the end of every day, you get these imbalances that come out that show closing imbalances for, buyers and sellers of these stocks of orders that are going to execute at the close. And I was like, you know what? I'm holding into the imbalances. A little bit of that was I'm red on the day and I really want a big winner here. But of course, I was nervous holding into those imbalances because if they don't go your way, it can be bad. But I have this theory, I have this thinking that, like, I just feel like it's not a coincidence that we're trending up. My bias was that by the end of the day, we'd probably hit new highs, and we did. But, the imbalances were good. It was obviously a heavy buy, so I don't really know what to make of it. I just had this feeling that I almost feel like I'm talking like a gambler, but and I think holding into the imbalances is pretty much by definition a gamble because you don't know, just like any economic event, you don't know what if you're holding into that, if you're holding into earnings, you're holding into an economic release, you are pretty much you're gambling. So this was definitely a bit of a gamble, but I felt like I had the edge because the trend was up, and we've got a huge buy day here on Friday. Massive buying going on, clearly on this breakout above 3,800 on the ES and just breaking through these levels. So, for whatever reason, I really thought we would probably, at this point with the imbalances, likely hit a new high on the day, and we did. I thought I was getting a really good exit here at 83. Man, we just kept ripping and ripping and ripping, and then we pulled back, and then wham, right back up to a fresh high. And then that probably was a buy sign because once we just rip right back up, right? If we're not fading off of that and we're just ripping right back up, I mean, that is strong. So you probably could have entered there. Then, this was just so vertical that I couldn't help myself and I got short. I just have a problem with it because this is obviously going against a very strong trend. So momentarily I was up on this like a few points. So 13, and then it just kept ripping. By the end of the candle it was at 15, 18, and then I was up, like I said, just a few points. Oh my God, a few minutes later, ripping up another 40 points. I mean, I knew that this at some point had to slow down, but unfortunately, a lot of times what happens is as you come into the end of the day, if this had been the closing bell, we're probably just going to level off here. I mean, this is scary. This was reckless. I should not have done that. I just really couldn't help myself. It's like I mean, obviously I did it. I just like felt like it wasn't even me that did it. It felt like I was possessed or something. It was like an automatic, like I'm shorting this because it's just ridiculous, this move. But, this was a break to fresh highs on a day where we're exploding. This was stupid, man. Do not do this. This is stupid. So, I mean, at the high here, I'm down 35 points. So that's 700 bucks. Luckily, the very next minute before the close here, or this is on the closing bell, we got this huge flush, 20-point flush, and then we're kind of trickling down in, and then I actually made money on the trade, about 8 points there, so another, almost 200 bucks. So on the day, with this huge recovery, these two profitable trades, this is, 65 points plus another 8 points or whatever, call it, 75 points on the Nasdaq, not bad. Um, you know, uh, before these two trades, I was down like 1,000 on it. But with that, uh, I turned it around and it ended up not being so bad of a day. But 13 trades, that's over trading. I was pretty much trading all day, so I really dug a hole. I really want next week, I'm just gonna pick my spots, be a sniper, have the balls to take a $500 loss on a single trade on a snipe. You take a snipe. $500 loss. Like right here. I took a $500 loss, but you know what? Like you got to have risk on the table. If you're going to take a trade, there's risk. So if I'm risking 500, let me risk the damn 500 instead of, you know, trading on the 1 minute chart and taking these stupid 20-point L's that are just so needless. I mean, this is 20 points right here. That's big. That's 400 bucks out the window. Stop doing that. I need to stop doing that. Right here. Stop. Pick your damn spots and stop being an idiot. I'm being hard on myself, but like really, I'm a moron sometimes. Like it's the FOMO. It's like there's a big move on Friday, I'm not catching it, and so I'm trying to be cute, and it's like just stop. Trade your freaking plan. So, these recaps, I hope they're helpful for you guys as helpful as they are for you as they are for me because for me looking back at all this, I really do sometimes wonder what the hell I was thinking. Um, I mean, on Thursday, I traded great. I just, uh, I mean, look, this is how I want my running P&L to look. Stab, win, get out, stab, brief drawdown, you know, looks like maybe I took a quick loss here. Stab, nice winner there. Take your profits. I'm out. Right? That's how I should be trading. Trade off a 15-minute chart, trade the setups, the price, the levels, be patient, give it room, give it time. I'm so much more confident trading, you know, on these longer time frames. So that's what I need to be doing. And just the only thing that makes me nervous is just how much room I give it. But on this break, if I'd given the ES like my plan, my strategy that I totally abandoned on Friday, if I had followed it, I would have been up enormous on the day. If I had just followed my strategy says look for spots where you can get, a 30-point move on the ES. It's a big move, but give it 10 points of room. 10 points on the ES, that's 500 bucks. Right here, if I enter at the open, 10 points of drawdown, that's down here to 21. That's nice. That's below these little levels right here. That's a perfect stop. Perfect stop. $500 of risk, easy. Easy. I would have gotten, 20 points straight away. If I'm patient, 100 points. I mean, you know what I mean? Why do I not just trade my plan? Why do I not just trade my plan? So next week, I kind of want to just trade my plan and just, if I lose, I lose, but at least I can say I traded my plan. All right, so guys, this is going to be a long, long video, so I'm definitely going to put the chapters in. So I apologize for that. But let's talk about Topstep. So this is my trade of 8. Topstep account that I've been trading in. And so I'll go to my Topstep dashboard. So this is my dashboard, and this shows me some stats here. Okay, I don't know why. Let me refresh this. Uh, Here we go. Okay, so for whatever reason the data wasn't loading in, but you can see my goal for step one. And if you don't know what Top Step is, put a link in the description. They do some explaining on their website. I'm not very good at explaining it, but basically there's two steps, step one, step two, and you got to just follow the rules. And by the end of it, if you get through the two steps, they will fund you with their capital, and you can trade with their capital, and then whatever money you make, there's like an 80 to 20 split. And the reason that I like that is because there's an 80 to 20 split, and because it's a simulated account, and because it's their money, and if I lose, I can just quit, whatever. I already paid for this, and whatever. It kind of takes a big chunk of the emotions. It takes off the table. So my emotions, like I showed you guys in the recap just now, are the reason that I've been taking these stupid L's. It's like I get FOMO, whatever. I mean, I'm in charge. I can next week, be better about my emotions and try to not do that and just, like I said, be a sniper and just be better. But another way to do it is just, when the mechanics of the account and where the capital is coming from is different, then inherently my emotions are, not as severe. So, like, this is a simulated account. I trade here on Tradeovate. And kind of all week, I was trading in, like I said, two accounts, my main account and this account. And earlier in the week, pretty much all week, I was actually taking different trades in these in the two accounts. So in this account and in my main account, I would kind of take different I would trade this one sometimes, trade this one with certain setups, and then my main account with other setups. So it's not like I was, whatever trade I took in my personal account, I was also taking here. I didn't do identical trading. I did a very different trading actually. Very rarely was I in a kind of short in this and short in my main account at the same time, or long and long. Pretty much I was kind of all over the place, but still trading setups that I thought made sense. But I was a lot better trading on, well, not a lot better, but I was better, I feel like, trading in my Topstep account this week. And I wonder if that's because the emotions aren't as severe because it's a simulated account, and I kind of feel like I don't really have much to lose. But like, man, I've been trading well in this account. Brought the account up 2 grand already. I have to trade a minimum of 5 days, which I've only traded. I guess I've traded 3 days, so I'm already 2/3 of the way to the profit target. And then unfortunately, I really wish it showed my fills. On the current day when I take the trades, it shows my fills, but unfortunately, it's not showing up here the day after. But I can say that I think my best trade on this on Friday was I had a long trade. I bought a dip here on this candle, and then I came down here, and then I bought right down here at the bottom of this candle, and we got a nice rip up here, and this was like a $1,000 winner. Other than that, I had a couple losses. But I can bring the performance center up, and then how do I do this? Click here, this week, go. So here's my all my stats on the week, and you can see my P&L history. I mean, it's been pretty awesome trading in this account. So I've had 24 trades total, 15 winners, 8 losers. So I've got a 62% win rate. My average winner is 640 bucks. My average loser is half of that. So, I mean, I've been trading kind of like a pro in this account so far. So hopefully I can keep it up, and a couple more days of this, and 1,000 more bucks, staying within those rules, and I will be past step one. And then I'll give you guys another update from there. But overall, I've been trading pretty well in this in the Top Step account, and yeah, I'm excited to hopefully get funded by Topstep, and kind of have more capital to be able to trade, because I lost so much money last week and the week before. This is kind of the whole reason I wanted to do this, because before I was going to open a Tradeovate account and just fund it myself, but now I'm kind of feeling like, well, I kind of I kind of, if I was going to do that, I kind of just lost all the money that I was going to do that with. So I feel like on my main account, I'm kind of in a hole that I need to like slowly dig out of, be a sniper, all that stuff I talked about. Uh, Versus here in the Tradeovate account, I kind of can just let me just try to pass these steps, and if I can get funded, then I'll just use that, you know? And okay, sure, the 80-20 split like is not great. Like I'd rather have 100% of the profits and just do it myself. But on the flip side, because 20% of what I make trading will go to Topstep, you know, that could potentially take a little bit of the edge off of my emotions while I'm trading and potentially make me an even better trader. And if it makes me a better trader, if, you know, counterintuitively making less money makes me a better trader, then theoretically I might be even better off than if I were getting 100% of what I make. Plus, I'm pretty sure if I do, so there's more details with this top step stuff, but if I get through the two steps, and I think at that point, once you get through the two steps, you can just go to the instantly funded account, or you can go to the pro account, which is basically like more simulated trades. But then once you get through that, it's more beneficial when you get then you get to premium funded. So you if you go through the pro after you get through the two steps, then you go to premium funded, and what that means is you get like 100% of the first 10 grand that you make. It's a pretty good deal. So it's not even the 80-20 split. I think only comes in later. I'm not an expert yet, but I did some research on this. I'm pretty sure the first 10,000 you make is um, is yours and you can withdraw. I think. I don't know. But anyway, I'm having fun with it. And so next week, I really just want to be, play smart, be a sniper, all that stuff I said. I apologize. This is a longer video, 41 minutes, guys. If you have watched until this point, DM me on Discord if you watched to this point. Send me a DM. And I don't know what I'll do, but thank you guys for sticking with me. And I hope you guys appreciate the honesty, the transparency. Nothing about this month looks good. Really, nothing. It's embarrassing. It's heartbreaking. But I'd be lying if I didn't say that I'm not enjoying the challenge a little bit. And this is having this I know. Did I write down the quote? I wrote it somewhere. But there's a quote, there's a forget who said it, but there's the the desire for a positive experience is a negative experience, and the acceptance of a negative experience is a positive experience. And I think that this is the acceptance of a negative experience and therefore a positive experience. And I think that in the long run, I'll look back at this and I'll recover and I'll get back to all-time highs and I'll be able to point at this drawdown and point at the recovery. And that I think is a great testament to my abilities as a trader. It's one thing to make money consistently like I was before this happened, and it's another thing to have this happen and then you know, put, reset your mentality, get yourself in a place where you can get back to it being disciplined. You know how hard it is to have a loss this big and not want to just jump into the markets, take the big, max your buying power and try to win it back? That's what I did. That's what I did last week or the week before. That's what I did here. And look how that worked out for me. Not at all. So now I had to swallow the pill. I had to swallow the massive, massive, disgusting pill of I can't do that anymore. And I've got to pick my spots and I've got to crawl out of this hole. You can't jump out. You got to climb. One hand and foot at a time. You got to climb. You cannot jump your way out. So it's that realization I've come to, and I'm accepting that. And I'm not just taking smaller size. I'm writing in my notebook. I'm doing the sit or stab. I'm writing a paragraph about what I think how the day is going to play out, what my plan is. And I've implemented a completely new strategy that, yeah, maybe I don't follow it every day. On Friday, I bailed and I didn't follow it and I was red. But now I can look at that and I can say, look, I was red. And look, where I followed my strategy and I took fewer trades, I made more money. So I've got a whole new strategy, whole new mindset, completely refreshed. And that doesn't mean I'm going to be green next week, but it means I'm going to try and I'm going to try to be good. And that's all I can do is give it 100% and not quit. So anyway, guys, leave a like for that. Come on. I mean, I really think I'm as aware as anyone on YouTube that shows their trades and puts all this out there. I watch many others that do it, and I think few are honestly as good as me at being honest about their trading journey. Because I think a lot of them just want to show their wins and not their losses. A lot of them are pretty good at being transparent, but they won't show you this, man. This is the true dark side of trading. But given the dark side of trading, it forces you. It forces you. Look how dark this month is. It forces you to get your shit together. The market doesn't give a damn where you're at. So my P&L is what it is. The only thing that's going to be able to pull me out, the biggest asset that I have, is my head, my mind, my thoughts. What am I going to do differently? I'm going to write stuff down. I'm going to completely change my strategy, and then it's up to me to follow it. So the buck stops at me. Will I come back from this? If I come back from this, then that's a big testament to me and my abilities to follow a plan. And if I can't come back from it, then then probably trading is not for me. But I've got a good track record of pulling myself out. I think if you bet against me, you're probably a fool. So careful. All right, guys, I appreciate you sticking with me. This is probably one of the longest videos I've done in a very long time. So I do appreciate your guys' time, and I'll put the chapters in, make it easier for you. Please leave a like, subscribe, guys, if you are new. You're not, I promise you, you're not going to find this level of transparency, this level of honesty, and hardly any other traders will not show you this stuff and not talk like a real person like this. A lot of them are manufacturer over edited, all this crap. Okay, I don't do any of that. I'm just talking to you guys like real person. So anyway, I appreciate all of you. I love you all, and I will keep you guys updated with another video probably next week sometime. And if you haven't already, join the Discord. I post more regular updates. If you want to know how I'm doing on more of a daily basis, join the Discord. You can DM me and talk to me, and we got a whole thing going on in there. So with that, thank you all. Love you all. All right, bye bye.